Good morning everyone. Myself Meekla from Mahendra Engineering College, from Assistant Professor from the Department of Information Technology. So today we are going to see the lecture on Internet of Things. I am going to give the introduction to IoT. Okay. So actually we have a plan of programs. What are the topics we are going to discuss under introduction to IoT. So first of all we must know what is the term IoT, okay, and history and how IoT works, and some other few applications where we are using IoT and futures of IoT, and advantages of IoT and disadvantages of IoT. Okay, so in first one, what is IoT? That is Internet of Things. Okay, the things is nothing but we call that as an objects, or we call it as an entity. That is a small entity or small object we call as an things. Okay, so the objects are nothing but actually what we are seeing in our day-to-day life. The objects that can be an anything. That is an vehicle, that is an refrigerator or washing machine. So what are the things you are seeing in our day-to-day life that can be called it as an objects, or else we can call it as an devices. Okay, so that devices can be an anything. So vehicles and buildings and other items. So these are the objects in which the embedded is getting we are going to embed the things on those objects, okay, with some electronics or softwares and sensors and network, and we need some internet connectivity that in order to enable those objects to collect those data from the external environment, and we are going to exchange those data. Okay, so again I'll give you the definition of IoT. The IoT is nothing but the things. What are the things we are going to collect and share those data from the external environment with the other devices. Okay, so next we move towards so here you have a diagrammatic representation of IoT, how IoT works. Okay, so the IoT is a system of interrelated devices. The devices can be an anything. So how your devices are getting interrelated, and how those devices are going to collect the data, and how collect the data from the external environment, and how they are going to share those data with each other without any human interface. That is the important thing here, without any human interface. So you make a note of it. The IoT is a device. They are going to interrelate the devices, that is from one device to another device. They are going to collect the data and share those data, okay, from one device to the another device with the help of internet. We call this as an IoT. So IoT is nothing but the collection of devices, those devices having the ability to collect the data and share the data. So once the data are getting collected and those data are getting shared in the cloud. Okay, so how it is useful for human means it will make it's very easier and to work in very effective manner. Okay, so without any human interface, that is the main concept here. So this is how the IoT works. Okay, so it collects the data and provides an analysis. So once the data is getting collected from one device, so those data are analyzed of the data, which may be used for the further improvement. Okay, that all those data which is collected from the various devices, those data are getting stored in the cloud, and that can be used for the further improvements, and those data are analyzed. Okay, so you have understood, right? So far we have seen what is IoT, what is things. Okay, so here I want to tell you the term that is an IoT. So here that is an physical object, your controller plus your sensors and your actuators, which plays a very vital role in IoT. So without sensors and actuators, the IoT is not there. Okay, so the sensors and actuators which plays a very important, that is our building block in an IoT. We call that as an building blocks. So here the thing. I said in previous slide what is the thing. The thing can be an entity, or that can be an physical object. So you will have some unique identifier. in those devices or in those objects you are going to embed the sensors or softwares. So this makes those devices to ability to share those data and to transfer those data over a network. Okay, so take for an example, that is an heart monitoring implants. Okay, so that is the type of heart monitoring device, so that records your heart rhythm continuously. Okay, that lasts up to 3 years. Okay, it allows your doctor to remotely monitor your heartbeat while you are doing your daily activities. So this how it helps your doctor to monitor your daily activities. Okay, so to monitor your heart rhythm, how it works. So this how will help your doctor. Okay, and then next one is on biochip transponders on the farm animals. Okay, so this is an electronic device. This is getting inserted under the skin of the animal to provide the animal with an unique identifier is given there. Okay, so this also helps the doctor, that is an veterinary doctor, to monitor the health of that animal. Okay, this will be in the form of the electronic device, and this device or chip, so this will be in the form of chip. So this will be kept under the skin of the animal in order to monitor the health of that animal. Okay, so this how it will help the doctor, veterinary doctor. Same as that is an in heart monitoring implants also, how it is helpful for the humans, likewise for the animals. So next comes the automobiles with built-in sensors. So there is just now I told you that is a sensor, how it is very important in an IoT. So the sensors which plays a very vital role in automobiles, not only the humans and animals parts, but also it plays a very important role in automobiles also. There are the different types of sensors we can list out. Okay, so that is an temperature sensor, proximity sensor, infrared sensor, that is an IR sensor, pressure sensor, gas sensor, smoke sensor, road sensor. They are very different types of sensors. Okay, based on the types you can use the sensors. Actually, what is the role of the sensor? It will sense the data from the external environment. Okay, so once the data are sensed, it will convert into an electrical signal. Okay, so this how the sensors work. So and then this automobiles with built-in sensors, what happens means this will help the driver, help the traveler to drive in efficient and then safety way. Okay, so these devices, so all those devices, that is and collect the useful data from the various external environment or the various devices with the help of various existing technologies, then automatically they will follow the data between the between the other devices. Okay, so collecting the data and exchanging the data from one device to another device. Okay, without the help of any human intervention. So that is the important thing here. So next is an history of IoT. So far we have seen what is IoT, and then history of IoT, that is the term IoT. This was first coined by the Kevin Aston in the year of 1999, and he explained the vision of the internet, which is connecting the things in 1919 itself. Okay, so we can call this Kevin Aston is also considered as an inventor of IoT. We can call it as an inventor of IoT. Okay, so this Kevin Aston, you just don't forget this name. That is an Kevin Aston. He is the first person. He coined this IoT in the year of 1999. So we can call this Kevin Aston as an inventor of IoT. Okay. So next is why this IoT is very important. So everyone must know why it is important, how it is helpful to the human life. So it helps the people live and work smarter and can gain the complete control of their life. So what is the, previously I told you the many examples we are seeing in our day-to-day life, right? That is on your mobile phones, your refrigerators, your washing machines, I told you, right? So if you use this IoT, so in front of those examples you can use the smart, that is on smart mobile phones, that is on smart washing machines, smart watches, smart car, like that you can use it. Okay, so the smart is nothing but without any help of human intervention, so they can collect those data and those can process the data, analyze the data. Okay, so without any human intervention, so they can work with their own, so without any human intervention. So that is the important thing here. So IoT enables the companies. So far we have seen that is how IoT works in the heart monitoring implants, and then biochip transponders on the farm animals, and then in last that is an automobiles in vehicle cars, right? That is an this will plays a very important role in company side also to automate their process in the manufacturing and reduces the labor cost, thereby it's reducing the labor cost also. Okay, so how IoT works? So we know that the Internet of Things is also sometimes referred to as an Internet of Everything. Okay, so the things we call it as an everything. So consists of all the web enabled devices. The web enabled devices is those devices which are collecting those devices. The devices having the ability to collect and exchange those data over the internet. We call those devices also called as an web enabled devices. Okay, that was the thing here. So that collects the data. If we say the word web enabled means you must understand those devices have the capability of collecting those data and send those data and act on these data which is acquiring from the external environment. Actually we are collecting the data from the external environment. How we are going to collecting the data? From the sensors. With the help of sensors only you are going to collect those data. Okay, I told you know there are many types of sensors. Okay, so based on the thing you take for an example, that is a temperature sensor. So the temperature sensor, it will sense the body temperature. Okay, you know, right, that is in Celsius and Fahrenheit. So if the temperature is above 98.9 degrees, so if it is going beyond that, we feel that that is an heat on our body. Immediately it will indicate you that your body temperature has been changed there. Okay, so for that you will use the temperature sensor. And take for an example, that is another sensor is an road sensor. The road sensor, what it will do means it will sense the heat of that road. Okay, so if there is changes in the heat of that sudden temperature, that is an outside the environment means what happens when immediately it will inform. Okay, so that suppose it may be due to the sudden fire in that building. So what happens, there is an temperature will be changes in that environment. Okay, so what happens, it will immediately inform. So alarm, start alarming. So that is increasing the temperature in the road sensor. Okay, so for that's how this road sensor is useful. And next is processors and communication hardware. Okay, we need a software and we need a hardware part, and we need sensors, and we need a actuators, and we need a internet. So all these things which forms an IoT. Okay, without this the IoT can't. So these devices, often called as an connected or smart devices, can sometimes to other related devices. So how these devices are getting connected? So one device is getting connected to the another device in order to collect those data and exchange those data. Okay, so for that they have connected. That is a machine to machine. We call that communication as a machine to machine communication. Without any help of the human intervention there. Okay, act on the information. So they will collect those data from the one machine and send and process those data and send back to those data. Okay, those machine. So they get from one another, from one machine to the another machine. So how the data is processing there. So the humans can interact with the gadgets. So how the humans are interacting with the gadgets means to set them up, give them instructions or access the data between the devices. So do most of the work on their own without any human intervention. So here I'll give an example for you. So take an example. So human is giving the instructions to the machines. How they are giving the instruction to the machines mean, take for an example, if you are getting up from the bed, so you will give, already you have given the instruction fed into the electric kettle, or that is an coffee maker. Okay, already you have given instruction to that coffee maker. The coffee maker is ready. Okay, once you got up from your bed, so he knows that the coffee maker knows that for this person how much chicory, how much coffee powder should be added. Okay, for you. Likewise, once you have had your coffee, you will go to the restroom, right? That time that heater is ready for you. So for this person, how much hot, how much cold it should be. Likewise, the each and everything which is instruction which is given by you before getting into that. Okay, so your coffee maker is ready, your bread toaster is ready, so your heater is ready. Okay, so everything, all the instructions which is given by you without any human intervention. Okay, so that was the thing here. So their existence has been made possibly by all the tiny mobile components that are available these days. So as well as always online nature of our home and business networks. So here comes the life cycle of the internet. So what happens, already I told you, the IoT is nothing but those devices having the capability of collecting the data and exchanging the data. So we call those devices as an IoT, right? So what these devices will do, will collect the data and communicate these data, and once the data is collected and once the data are communicated, so they will analyze those data and according to that it will act. So this is the life cycle of IoT. Okay. So this is how the collection. So where we collect those data, in collection of data, the sensor will make a part. The sensor will help you to collect those data from the external environment, that can be at home. So if you are using the sensor at home, it will collect the data from the sensors. Likewise, I told you, no, that is an electric kettle, that is an coffee maker and then heater. So all these are the sensors. Okay, that will collect the data from you at home part. Okay, in your car. So if this person is ready, automatically the car door will open in your car. Likewise at the office, okay, in manufacturing plant. So the next part is on communication and analysis part. So thank you guys. Let's conclude this lecture.